It is September 8th, 2020, and this is the latest reopening news for Guatemala. Follow along. Buenos días, buenas noches, buenas tardes, donde sea que estés. Gracias por buscando. Y ahora in English. Okay, so back to what I know. I speak very little Spanish, but mostly enough, bastante. It's enough to get by. So anyway, let's just jump right in. I'm going to read a couple of stories. Again, I understand you guys can read, but I want to read a couple of stories that are pertinent to traveling to Guatemala, at least in the near future anyway, some things that you may want to think about. So I just wanted to pass on as much information as I could as I hear it. If I hear anything different, and please, by all means, comment. Let me know what you know, because this helps me share it. Almost every one of these videos I put out, I have some of you guys that will comment, hey, no, it's this date, it's that date, or this has changed. I am by no means the gospel. I'm trying to pass on as much information as I can that I find beneficial for you. So take a look at this information. Thanks for watching. Again, if I'm offering any benefit at all, please go down and hit the subscribe button and likes. Here's the thing with likes. YouTube does not promote you to larger audiences unless you have a certain percentage of likes per video. So do me a favor, let's try to get at least 90% of the people who watch this video to hit the like button for me. Even if you don't subscribe, just take a second. If it's on your phone, hit like. That will help me spread this out to others, and then I can grow the channel better. So follow along. Okay. I'm going to jump right in and go to a couple of stories that I believe you may find of interest if you are headed back to Guatemala. First story is going to come from Travel Off Path. Again, that's traveloffpath.com. Again, I'm sure I've sent you to this source before, and this is a great resource for you. So let's jump right in. This story is entitled, and again, I understand my subscribers, viewers can read. Again, I'm doing this, I'm reading along just in case you're in the car. You can look and glance at a picture, but pay attention. I just came off of a road trip to St. Louis over the past weekend, and I am blessed to be back and safe, because not paying attention on the road is sketchy. So pay attention to where you're going. Okay, so this one's entitled Guatemala Reopening for International Tourism Planned for September 18th. So if you have not heard, Guatemala is scheduled now to reopen on the 18th, and everybody knows that can change. But as of right now, let's plan on the 15th. I'm sorry, on the 18th. This story was written a few days ago on the 5th. Today is the 8th. Updated 3 days ago. So Guatemala plans on reopening its international airports for tourists starting on September 18th, 2020. Juan Antonio Ruiz, president of the Guatemalan Airline Association, announced Guatemala closed its borders back in March due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but is now looking to revive its tourism sector by resuming commercial flights into the country. Guatemala's Aurora International Airport will officially reopen on September 18th. 5 of the 10 airlines that operate at the airport will resume flights that day. Nice little airport too. Details on entry requirements have not been fully confirmed, but here is everything Travel Off Path has learned so far. And my viewers should know this already. There's a few things you need to pay attention to. So, countries allowed to enter Guatemala, that list has not been produced yet. Travel Off Path does have a link that goes over other countries and their parameters, and they're updated, as they get the information too. So it's different dates. So let's think, COVID testing. Do you actually have to have a PCR test before you get to Guatemala? Well, Francis Argueta, director of the Civil Aeronautics, said that PCR tests will be mandatory for all travelers arriving in Guatemala. El Periódico reported there will be 2 alternatives for those who do not have a PCR test. The first will be to adhere to a 14-day quarantine or to be tested in a health center under the leadership of the Ministry of Public Health, Argueta explained. Now, if you remember one of my prior stories, I think it was 70-some-odd%. There's one company that does the testing and the test results in Guatemala, at least as of about 3 weeks ago, according to that story that I read. And That story also proclaimed that approximately 70+% of the people who worked there had the virus. So note that as you keep that as an option to get tested there. So just get your PCR test done here. I was able to do it here in 45 minutes. I got one of the rapid tests, and I did another one. Heck, I've done 3, and I've done the the antibody test. But the first one got no results. The second one, it took because it was personal, someone we knew, it took about 2 days. I was well into my trip back to DC when I got the alert. But keep that as an option. Quarantine in Guatemala. According to the statement by Argueta, the travelers who do not get tested for COVID-19 will face a mandatory quarantine of 14 days. There have been no details released if it will be the government or self-imposed quarantine. So keep that in mind. I mean, if you have family, I get that. If you have a wife, fiance, I get that. But otherwise, wait and fly with me. Because believe this, I want to go here. Believe this, I want to go to Colombia as well. But things I need to think about first. All travelers must follow the COVID-19 health protocols while in Guatemala. Comply with social distancing, at least 1.5 meters. Use a face mask in all public spaces, included on the street. People that have recuperated from COVID-19 and those under quarantine must use masks inside their homes. If you do not comply with these measures, you can be fined or face criminal charges. And I want to say this is in Euro or Libra, I don't know. The national curfew is still in effect, starting at 9 p.m. and ending at 4 a.m. So that means enjoy your trip, but you better be home by 9 p.m. You can get up and go to the market at 4, evidently, but just keep that in mind. Here's a picture of women who prepare to sell their radishes at the day market in Zunil. What's open in Guatemala? And that's why I picked this story. What's open in Guatemala? All essential services are open, but only select hotels and restaurants are operating at this time. As tourism restarts, more businesses are expected to reopen. The sale of alcohol is prohibited between 7 p.m. and 5 a.m., and as well as consumption in public places. So quarantine starts at 9. If you want to get your drink on, you better buy your drink before 7. So you got 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. to get your drinks. Shopping complexes, strip malls, not big shopping malls, can open if they are compliant with the health and safety protocols. I believe that's Fuego right there. Yes, a mild eruption from Fuego volcano outside Antigua. And this happens all the time. You can see these puffs and these eruptions or mini eruptions daily. Okay, so that was that story. Just a few things to keep that you should keep in mind. This one is Prensa Libre, and this is September 8th. But yeah, September 8th. So this is today. This is this morning. Tourists, Antigua, Guatemala adapt the COVID-19 pandemic will hope for better times. I'm not sure how many of my viewers have been to Antigua, but it's a small town, bustling with tourists and residents also. Beautiful. As far as I'm concerned, the most beautiful city I've ever been to. It's old, it is well kept, it is immaculate. I love this city. There's no trash. I mean, there's somebody that they take care of every aspect of a nice vacation for you. The pools are nice. The rooftop bars and restaurants are great because you can see the volcanoes. You can see 3 volcanoes from these tops, the tops of the roofs. But keep in mind that they already closed early. I think they've closed up on us at 9, 10, and definitely 11 at times when they were supposed to stay up until 1 o'clock on the weekend. We went to our favorite spot only to find out it was closed at 11 p.m. So keep that in mind. So as they restrict the sale of alcohol and they restrict you being allowed to be out after 9 p.m., just keep in mind, just focus on the time that you're out, because there's going to be some way where they're going to have to gauge this, whether it's at the hotel lobby, where they're going to log for the police or whomever comes by to check. You better be in your room by 9 p.m. Don't play around in someone else's country. When they say this is the law and the rules and you know it before you go, you sign that contract when you buy that ticket and you get that visa. So again, this one is as of today, and this picture gives you an idea as to, I guess, how they're going to address They're wearing the face shield, the mask, and I would always wear glasses anyway. But just keep in mind, it's beautiful city, but no matter where you go, it's going to be a struggle to keep a mask on, and do not touch the front of the mask. God, don't touch the front of the mask. The front of the mask, the outside is the dirty part. If somebody sneezes on you, it's there. So when you touch it and then you touch everything else, you spread it. So be careful. And this picture is just entitled, "An employee cleans a table at a restaurant area of a hotel in Antigua, Guatemala that began reopening amid the pandemic." Okay. With thermometer in hand and plenty of disinfectant gel, the businesses of this colonial city of Antigua receive local visitors who feel the main tourist attraction in Guatemala. Just opened after months of several restrictions due to COVID-19 pandemic. Foreign tourists have not returned to the cobbled streets of this city since March, when the Central American country closed its borders to contain the virus. And with the economic reopening that began at the end of July, it is the Guatemalans who begin to feel the places of the place. Again, most of these, when I read these from Central America, are Spanish written, and my browser automatically switches it to English, so it's not always 100% accurate. It was an almost lethal blow to the old economy. Let's call it a heart attack. Sergio Quintanilla, a 60-year-old artist, told AFP in the Central Park of Antigua, declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1979. The man wears a Spanish outfit from the colonial era. Talk about the history and legends of the place in a sad tone. He relates that many businesses did not survive the absence of visitors. If I tell you that it affected 100%, I would lie. I tell you that it was 200, adds Quintanilla, who, despite optimism about the reopening of tourism, regrets that some visitors do not use masks correctly, mandatory in the country. And get this, so not everybody's going to wear a mask. And I hope it's not people from America who just have that "I don't have to wear a mask" attitude. Remember, lose that American attitude when you leave the country, guys. Don't go there with the American. Be American, but don't take that attitude, that rush hate, that entitlement. It's frowned upon. Anyway, I wanted to jump through this story. Take a look at these. These stories are good to get you going in the beginning, but I more so just want to throw a couple of dates out and some things that you need to think about as far as taking the test. Are they going to issue your visa stamp without travel insurance? That's the next thing I wanted to jump to. Because I know you can't get in Colombia, or they're not going to allow you in without this health insurance on your travel insurance. So it's just a health part of your travel insurance. So invest in that. And so I did a little research and found a couple of companies that were suggested by a few different bloggers. One of which is the Assist card. Easy to fill out. I'm a resident of Texas. It's a single trip. Let's get a quote. Okay, so single trip. Let's say I'm going to leave on October 3rd, and I'm going to come back on, October 31st. I'm going to stay 4 weeks. And deposit date, the date that I'm going to send them some monies. So let's say I'll send it on the 1st. Destination country, where'd it go? Guatemala. Traveler age, 58. Let's say my trip is going to cost $3,000. It's just me. You can add a traveler here, as you can see. Okay, it doesn't take long. Okay, so here you go. You have two basic plans. Now, I'm not going to step through all the details in viewing the policy because I hate forms. I would pay somebody to look at the forms and read the forms and fill out the forms. I am not the one to deal with forms. So just basic information. I want you to give you an idea as to how much it's going to cost for a month. Now, avoid the lockdown, of course, and get your PCR test. But at a minimum, and I looked at these and I looked at the samples, and they were both kind of close. Really, it makes sense to get the 151. So 151 for 30 days is what I'm paying for. Trip cancellation, anything goes wrong, 100%. Trip interruption, anything goes wrong, 150% of the trip. Trip cancellation for any reason, 75% of this. This is a supplemental, I believe. provides reimbursement of your prepaid, non-refundable trip cost if you must cancel your trip for any reason up to 2 days prior to your departure date. Okay, there you go. Airline ticket change fee. So some airlines, and if you saw my last video, it may have been for Colombia, but United has waived that $200 change plane fee, change flight fee. Southwest had done away with it a while ago, but now United has finally done the same thing too. And even if you do have one, this is saying it's going to waive it, and I think the max has been 200 anyway, because United always maxes out on everything they can. Single occupancy supplement provides coverage for additional cost and incurred if the per person occupancy rate for your prepaid travel arrangements change. Okay, there you go. Anything changed, they'll handle it. Misconnection, up to 3 hours, $750. So it's both on both sides. Just to give you an idea of a couple more. Let's see, let's start here. Trip delay, baggage delay. Trip delay, $250 per day. That's fair. Maximum $750 per day. Baggage, I don't know where you're going to stay, but that would cover me. Baggage delay, 12 hours delay. Let's see, $100 per day and a maximum of $300. Baggage and personal effect, loss damage, up to $250. Maximum $1,000 per item, $250. And you need to read through these, and of course you need to look at the details for your own. Make sure it's what you want, because you can always pick up the phone and say, I want this and I don't want that, just like you're getting an auto policy. Accidental death and dismemberment, you get an extra 10 and 50. So seems like you want to pay the 210 if you expect them to go over there and jump out of a plane. But emergency accident and emergency sickness medical, okay, provides reimbursement for necessary medical and dental expenses due to an accident. $50,000 for the 151 plan, and for the $200 plan, it's $250 with a zero deductible for both. $750 for dental emergencies also. Emergency medical. So here's the big one: $500,000. This may be a requirement to come into the country. Provides coverage for medically necessary transportation to the nearest hospital and appropriate facility. This is in case you are sick or ill or anything major goes on. You have $500,000 for that. Repatriation of remains to get you back if something really doesn't go well. Renter's collision. This is for auto. I mean, I wouldn't advise anybody drive over there, but pre-existing conditions, it waives all that. So, and then you can buy it from there. And you saw the prices, $151 and $210. Here's another one that I saw, Safety Wing, recommended by another blogger that I found. $40 for 4 weeks. Sign me up. It goes over all the details. You can fill that out. And then the last one I found was TravelX. So I picked the country I'm going to. Let's choose my state. I don't know how this has any bearing on it, but it seems like the country will matter. From the 3rd again through the 31st. I'm 58. My trip is going to cost me no more than $3,000. I'm on a budget, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. Who's gonna, for a whole month, I shouldn't pay more than $500. Okay, so this one is a little bit less, $125 versus $174. And then you just go through the plan for each one just to give you an idea. Here's a sample of one. Okay, and again, the information that you need to call, it looks like it's Berkshire Hathaway Insurance. This one was highly rated also, and it's going to be a whole bunch of forms and forms and forms, which I'm not going to go through. You need to take a look at these on your own. So out of these that I've given you to look at, let's see, TravelX, Safety Wing, and the Assist Card. The Assist Card seemed pretty good too. So I just wanted to pass on as much information as I could as I hear it. If I hear anything different, and please, by all means, comment. Let me know what you know, because this helps me share it. Almost every one of these videos I put out, I have some of you guys that will comment, hey, no, it's this date, it's that date, or this has changed. I am by no means the gospel. I'm trying to pass on as much information as I can that I find beneficial for you. So take a look at this information. Thanks for watching. Again, if I'm offering any benefit at all, please go down and hit the subscribe button and likes. Here's the thing with likes. YouTube does not promote you to larger audiences unless you have a certain percentage of likes per video. So do me a favor, let's try to get at least 90% of the people who watch this video to hit the like button for me. Even if you don't subscribe, just take a second. If it's on your phone, hit like. That will help me spread this out to others, and then I can grow the channel better. Again, so thanks for watching. Good luck on your travels to Guatemala. Send me as many comments as you can. I need that to keep me motivated. Thanks again, guys.
We have a YouTube channel, like it. Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.